All right, what's up, boys? So today I wanted to go over the main bass for Reaver. So I couldn't get it sounding exactly the same with these, but got it close enough to where you might get an idea of how to make this bass. So I'm just gonna play the bass real quick and then we'll get into it. So that's the main bass that plays pretty much the entire track. The entire track is pretty much this. Just warped, pitched, and just like just changed a little bit through like, you know, all the stuff that you can do in audio, plus maybe a few plugins here and there. But this bass consists of 3 faceplate patches. There was all OTTs on it before, but I'm working on Windows right now, and these were all Mac audio units or something like that. So they don't load properly in Windows, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, I don't have exactly what was on it, but I think it's close enough to where it doesn't really make that much of a difference. So let's start with the faceplant patch here. So I use a lot of analog, and then usually I'll FM from a wavetable. That's generally how I work. As you'll see, this patch is generally pretty simple, and that a lot of my patches are relatively simple in essence. So we start off with a square wave that's being FM'd from a wavetable position 89, and we're modulating that with the LFO1, which is the volume LFO also. And that's just moving it from a I believe a triangle wave to a little bit further along the triangle wave band. It doesn't quite get to square or saw waves. And then, so that's causing that. Faceplant is super visual, so it kind of shows you what's happening to the wave as you're FMing and stuff. And then I have FM. I'm not modulating the FM with the LFO1, so nothing there. 29%. And then we're going straight into a filter, which is a low pass filter. And that's just being not FM'd. It's being modulated by the LFO1, and that's around 44%. And then we have our cutoff, which is right here. Q, I don't think I touched it. Let's see. Nope, didn't touch it at all. Then we have our delay, 100% feedback, a little bit up, 53. And then we have our 27.5, which is something that I use a lot when I'm working in D sharp. For some reason, that millisecond seems to sound really good. We have a resonator, D sharp 1, which is adding a bit of high end intensity all the way. Decay is not changed. And then square wave. Resonator is probably one of my favorite plugins that comes with faceplant. I think it's actually free. So if you get the free bundle, you'll get this plugin. And this plugin, used correctly with like a lot of distortion, can be really cool. Next up, another delay that I ended up turning off. I'm not sure if I'm using it later on in the track. That's super possible. Combs filter, minus, mix all the way. And then classic disperser, D sharp 5. And then we have a saturator. Okay, so it's maxed on the mix, maxed on the drive, maxed, not maxed, but like pretty close to maxed on the color. And that's pretty much what makes the sound. And then we have a bit of pitch shifting, which is automated by this LFO, which is essentially like a triangle going up. And that's like 10%. That's probably actually pretty useful. That's a technique I use a lot. So it makes a giant difference. Anyway, so that's really cool. I really like this patch. I'm probably gonna save it after and try and mess around with it and see what kind of crazy stuff I can get with it. So this is like essentially the same patch, I'm assuming, minus like, this doesn't change. Oh, the only different thing that I'm doing, if I had to guess, is like, I changed the wavetable position, and that's pretty much it. And then it gives you a bit of a different tonality. I didn't even mix these at all, like in this. I guess I mixed it in here. So somehow it like sounded good. When we get to the last one though, I couldn't get it sounding quite right. So that's fine. But yeah, so this is the last one. It sounds harsh and weird, but it like works. I don't know how I got it to sound like that, but I got as close as I can. I'm gonna try and like... Anyways, it sounds really different, and I don't know exactly what happened, because the only plugin that's missing is an OTT. So unless there was like something really affecting it here, which there wasn't, and then here, no. So I'm not entirely sure how I got it to sound like that, but somehow, some way, I got it to sound like that. So I'm just gonna go over the patch really quick. I guess the only difference is like the wavetable position is way up, and then 15% here, D sharp 5. If I lower this, it might sound better. Not quite. I mean, I can't really get it super close, but I'm sure that if you mess around with the settings enough and you kind of figured out the sweet spot for the OTT, that's like pretty close-ish, but it's not quite there. So I'm really not sure what the major difference is, but there is kind of a difference, and that in the end gave me this, which is a really cool bass, and I really like it. It's probably, let's see what's happening here. So this one sounds a lot more similar, and what happened is I probably didn't duplicate the patch here, and then I adjusted it to make that, because I'm sure if I listen, yeah, so it sounds a lot more similar to this one than this one. So that's why. It's because this bass right here is actually this bass, which is a bit tweaked. So that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so if I like put it back. Yeah, so I don't know why. I don't know how I got it to sound so good in the actual track. But like, honestly, if you just want to take these two patches and like mess around with them, I guarantee you, you're going to get some really cool results. This one, a bit of a letdown, kind of a bummer, because I really don't know what happened between having it on my Mac and then now having it on my Windows PC. Something is clearly different, but I really can't figure out exactly what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna leave pretty much the rest for the project breakdown, which is gonna come out soon after this video. But for now, that's it for me. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope that this was helpful. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.